Happy Wednesday, UnWoke Nation. I'd like to welcome you to episode 179 of the UnWoke Show, where free speech is welcome, all circles are on the table, and your boys Rich and Tim bring you the latest and greatest for your entertainment, baby. I'm your host, Rich, along with my co-host. How you doing, Tim?
Great, Rich. And UnWoke Nation, guys, glad to be speaking with you this evening. We're just going to go ahead and jump right to it this evening. And Rich, where are we going, man?
Well, we got a story right here that's been popping up all over the media
no
today.
Pun intended.
Stop it. Anyway, so, and guys, it has definitely been something that people have been talking about. So today's episode 178 is called Spiked, the transgender volleyball scandal San Jose State tried to bury. Now, Tim and I have been doing a lot of research, and where there are some things where that we understand what some of the main things are going on, but there's a couple of things where that me and Tim are a little questioning about this particular case. So,
Yes.
so as we mentioned, this has been a pretty explosive story in the news this last day or so. And basically, what started as a campus controversy has turned into a full-blown federal legal battle involving Title IX.
Yep.
And what's been really going there is about these cover-up allegations, a little bit of intimidation, and also, believe it or not, millions of dollars in federal funding.
Right.
So we're going to be able to share with you guys a lot of the names, facts, the latest findings of where we've been actually doing some reporting on and finding out, especially coming straight from the U.S. Department of Education, which basically answers a question that's been going on for the last year or so about what is considered to be fairness in women's sports. So let's definitely jump into it. So for those guys who don't know much about this, the story probably started about 2 years ago, and it's dealing, as we stated before, about the San Jose State University women's volleyball team.
Yep.
And the person in question about this has to do with an individual named Blaire Fleming, who is a transgender player who obviously played on the San Jose State's women's team. Now, what's been going on is we have some other people who are involved in this, and particularly, embrace yourself, Tim.
Yep.
A girl who was also a former player called Brooke Slusser. I hope I'm saying her name right. And to kind of get to the point, guys, of our points is that it turns out that Blaire actually played for San Jose State women's team from 2022 to 2024. Mm-hmm. And what has happened about this is how this actually became a national news story is because during that time, San Jose State was actually playing in their conference volleyball tournament. And what happened was that the story had came out that Blaire Fleming was a transgender athlete And I think during a semifinal or one of the rounds during the tournament, Boise State women's team had decided to forfeit their game in the tournament because they did not want to be playing against a man. So during that, where the federal government actually launched an investigation into the university in February of last year. Now, as of recently, in these last couple of months the Trump administration officially concluded that San Jose State had discriminated against women by allowing Fleming to compete, and the Department of Education tried to offer a resolution deal, which turns out that the California State University system also filed a federal lawsuit in March, just a couple months ago, challenging the Title VIII finding. And apparently, in addition to that, I guess there were some actions that were asked by the California State, university system, which they refused. Now, the Department of Education claimed that San Jose State actively recruited and allowed a male to compete on the women's indoor and beach volleyball teams, and reportedly instructed members of the coaching staff not to tell the female players that the athlete was a male.
Yeah. So two Boise State sisters, Kirsten and Caitlin Von Kirk, and a handful of other current Mountain West players filed a lawsuit against the league seeking an emergency injunctive relief. The lawsuit sought to ban the San Jose State player believed to be transgender to strip the Spartans of 6 league wins obtained by forfeit and prevent the team from participating in the Mountain West tournament. Mm-hmm. U.S. District Judge Cato Cruz rejected the player's request, arguing that the late timing placed a heavy lift on the Mountain West and that the plaintiffs could have sought injunctive relief much earlier. That ruling was upheld by an appeals court. Mm. So before it found itself at the center of the national firestorm surrounding transgender athletes, San Jose State's women's volleyball could not have been more obscure. Okay. This is a program that last won a conference title in 1985, last made the NCAA tournament in 2001, and that seldom draws more than a few hundred fans to home matches.
So this is obviously a program that it's been on the struggle bus in performance for a very long time.
Yep. So the player believed to be transgender had already played at San Jose State prior to this year for 2 seasons without incident. Okay. Keep that in mind. 2 years, no incidents.
2022 to 2024.
Yep. She first made an all-conference team on Tuesday when she earned honorable mention All Mountain West honors. So, fast forward, her presence first drew attention last April when Redux published a story alleging that a San Jose State women's volleyball player was transgender and had withheld her biological sex from teammates and opponents. The self-described pro-woman, pro-child outlet said it had begun reporting the story after receiving a tip from the mother of an opposing player.
Okay, here we go.
In September, San Jose State setter Brooke Slusser joined a federal lawsuit challenging NCAA policy allowing transgender athletes to participate in women's sports. Slusser roomed with the player in question after transferring from Alabama last fall, but learned about her teammate's alleged gender identity only after Redux outed her.
Now, UnWoke Nation, this is the part where it gets a little bit strange.
Yes.
And the reason why we say it gets strange because it just shows where that recently that Slusser was actually interviewed, and the source actually comes from foxnews.com, and also we'll actually be able to play the video for you. But she was asked about her experience.
So let's set the stage. It says in a legal filing, Slusser insisted that her allegedly transgender teammate strikes the ball with such power that it provides San Jose State an unfair advantage and poses a safety risk to other players during practices and games. Slusser claimed the player's spikes in practice were traveling faster than she had ever seen a woman hit a volleyball. Those comments come from Slusser, tossed a lighted match on a pile of kindling. Local and national media outlets began covering the story. Activist groups attacked San Jose State, and right-wing politicians exerted their influence. So I'm going to talk about this for just a second. Slusser, recruited from Alabama.
Correct.
To San Jose State. Now, I don't know much about Alabama volleyball. I don't know much about San Jose State volleyball.
Apparently, to the record, nobody else does.
Purely from a school name perspective, who's carrying more weight?
Probably Alabama.
Boom. So you're leaving an SEC school to go to a Mountain West school. So I'm assuming Slusser thought she would be a star.
Maybe.
On the San Jose State.
I mean, you're only joining the transfer portal unless you think you could go and play somewhere else. That's pretty much the general understanding.
So we're just going to go ahead and assume she was riding the pine in Alabama.
That's a possibility.
So which tells me someone more than likely is a diva or an inflated ego.
Yep, possibly.
Okay. An attention hound. And so that's going to lead us, I believe, into a video that we're about to play for you guys. And, you know, to preface this video, Rich and I, the UnWoke Show has done multiple transgender stories about this, right? This isn't so much about another transgender person playing volleyball, right? We've seen stories of people getting hurt in soccer or track or anything like that, right? I think this is more about, yes, it's about transgender, but I think somebody's vagina got hurt.
Well, maybe we should be able to hear what Slusser actually has to say for this one.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
It's just the fact that it's like you find out you're like just chilling in a bed with a man that you had no idea about. It doesn't even go into the fact that like it's not like we were on top of each other snuggling or something. It's just the fact that I'm unknowingly sharing a bed at that time with a man. It's just so many little minute things that's like, this is just absolutely absurd.
Okay, so we stop right there. Now, this is where Tim and I got a little bit confused. We were just kind of like, wait a minute.
And UnWoke Nation, we hope you're just as confused.
Yeah, because
as we are.
Because we understand we're being guys in there like that, but it's just kind of like we're trying to use as much common sense as we can here.
So you decide to file this lawsuit. What do lawsuits bring generally to people who file them?
Recognition.
Attention.
Yeah.
Okay. She says, I was unknowingly sharing a bed with a guy.
That's where I just kind of got a little confused. It had the pause the first time we listened as pre-show. It's kind of like...
So if this transgender person, that Blaire, if she were hot, maybe?
Tim, are you suggesting that maybe something might pop up?
Yep.
You know, so possibly rise to the occasion?
I can't stress enough to everybody. 2 years without incident.
Yes.
In an all-girls apartment.
And you're trying to tell me the part about I've been sharing a bed
unknowingly
with a man. And you're trying to tell me that nothing at all?
And you're filing this lawsuit based on the safety of other players because one of your teammates is hammering the ball. You're on a team that is going from obscurity.
Right.
To the national tournament.
I guess, yeah.
You're going to play for the Mountain West title.
And then play for,
And then you're going to play.
Potentially, yes, for the NCAA tournament. Right.
You're going to play in the NCAA tournament. Now, keep in mind, there are plenty of other schools. And chances are you're going to get beat. Right? Because I'm sure, I don't know what the number one volleyball program is.
Like a lot of them is like Nebraska, Texas, Oregon.
Yeah, so the chances are, right, you're going to run into one of them in...
One and done, call a day.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's what, that was one of the first things
So that's strike one.
Right, exactly. Let's continue on what she says.
Yes.
It's hard to process. Like,
I'll say.
I don't even know if I can say I've fully processed it to this day.
And honey.
It's just, you're told something for so long, you think something for so long, you act very normally about a situation, and then come to find out it's all a lie. You probably would have changed everything that you did, how you acted, the way you presented yourself in front of the person. And so I think it's just really hard to fully process the fact that you were lied to in so many different situations.
Now, let's stop there. Now, remember, Tim wanted you guys to remember that she had shared this apartment with her, the Blaire, and two other teammates for 2 years. And you're trying to tell me within 2 years that you're trying to say that had I known about that or so, I would have acted differently in your own apartment? You're trying to tell me common sense would sit there and go, if that was a really big issue, you probably would have went to your coach or to your athletic director or something.
Show me the trauma here.
Right.
Show it to me.
It's like,
guess what? You can't, because everything that she said was so much about her. I don't even know if I've truly processed it to this day.
2020.
Are you shitting me?
It's like, wait, what?
No, absolutely not. Somebody didn't get their claim to fame, okay, as an actual student athlete. Okay, let's be, like I said earlier, somebody got their vagina hurt because they weren't the star of San Jose State. Let me emphasize again. You went from obscurity to the chance of playing for a title, which I don't know. Again, I don't know Alabama volleyball. Don't know if they were playing for SEC titles or they were getting spanked regularly, or if they were in the NCAA tournament or they were getting spanked or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're worried about the ball being spiked too hard and player safety.
From a player that's on your team.
Exactly.
You would think you'd want every advantage in general.
Yep.
You would think you'd want every advantage possible.
So now we're on to strike two.
Yes, as we continue on the video.
Yes.
If there was anyone that he thought I could maybe move in with, looking for a roommate of a group of girls on the team. And he told me that there were two different houses looking for a person.
Now, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of context, what she's talking about, the reporter was asking her the question when she was trying to decide where she was going to live on campus while she was being recruited.
Yeah.
You know, she was being asked, she was asking the coach, you know, where she should be, you know, because I guess there were two different houses where the athletes could be. And also she's going on to explain
where
that.
she might fit in.
Yes, where she might fit in. So to give you guys a little bit of understanding.
So I asked my coaches that at the time were recruiting me, and I asked my head coach, Todd, I just said if there was anyone that he thought I could maybe move in with, looking for a roommate of a group of girls on the team. And he told me that there were two different houses looking for a person to fill in an open room. And they were both full volleyball houses. All the girls were on the team. And he just thought that the one apartment that I ended up in, I would get along better with those girls. So after he told me that, I just decided to move into that apartment complex with the three teammates of mine.
Interesting. So there was other options, right? There was another volleyball house, and yet he encouraged you to move into the one with Blaire without even telling you the truth about who Blaire was. You said he thought you would get along better with them. I mean, you're all teammates, right? Why is he thinking you get along better with them? Did he expand on that at all?
The only thing he really said was
Here it comes.
we were all in the same class. So if all of us are there next year, it's not like we'd have to find another roommate. So he thought it would be nice that I was with like all of the girls that are in my class. So we could spend a full 2 years together, which I loved that idea. So that I could really bond with those girls as much as possible because I'm going to be with them majority of the time. We were so...
Okay, so we stopped there. Now, this is the part where, you know, we're gonna turn a little bit before we go back to the rest of the video, where we start bringing the volleyball program into the forefront. Now, she just got done saying that her coach felt that she would feel better being with these girls because they were part of the same class. All right, they're all juniors, so whatever it might be. Okay, you know, so I would assume them 22, so it must be sophomores. But it doesn't matter. So, but the coach sat there and thought it would be better. So this is the part where, you know, like I said, there's the allegations of San Jose State knowing that Blaire was a man. And my question is, and we would love, you know, to hear from you guys in the UnWoke Nation, if they felt by putting this girl here, that it would basically try to normalize, or maybe you could say, you know where I'm going, Tim. It's almost like let's kind of have it blend in. So therefore it doesn't become a story. If we just kind of put, you see where I'm going with this, Tim?
Well, so honestly, I interpreted that piece as a hit piece on the coach.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he worded the question, the way that he was being asked.
Mm-hmm.
That was all about throwing, in my opinion, throwing the coach under the bus.
In the program, you say?
Yeah.
You think? Okay.
Yeah, throwing it all under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
This girl could have been in either house.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this goes back to my initial thoughts that she just needed the attention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whether the coach thought she would do better in one house versus another, I don't think it matters.
I don't even, because I think if anybody on that team, whether recruit or not, was into that apartment and they felt the same way that she does, so if it wasn't Brooke, it would have been somebody else.
So yes. And where do you think, if you're a sophomore, you're going to learn maturity around the team?
Probably with upperclassmen.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get the concept of continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Younger players
Mm-hmm.
coming together, having that bond. But again, it's team.
Right.
You need the team bond.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so this reporter guy, this is a total, hey, I'm going to throw the coach under the bus here.
Now, here's where it starts getting a little on the weird side. And also,
As if it hasn't been weird already.
Right, exactly. So we'll continue on and see if we can get to that part.
Doing everything together, especially as roommates, like everyone would come over. If we were in the living room, we were in someone's bedroom, all just hanging out, like watching movies, snuggled up in bed, like all the normal things you'd think girls do in an apartment. Like,
Okay, stop right there. Wait a minute. You trying to tell me that
Girls snuggling in a bed.
Girls-
Dear penthouse.
yeah, snuggling in the bed, and you're trying to tell me at no point you didn't know that there might be something, shall we say, like as they said
You
on
weren't getting a rise out of anybody?
exactly, so it's like, one of those Sesame Street things. One of these things is not like the other at all.
Nothing.
Let's continue.
they're probably covered up more. So it's just like those little things where it's like, if I would have known that I was living and sharing spaces with a man, I probably would have changed how I acted a lot. So it's really hard looking back at like, times where we were just binge watching movies in a bed all squeezed together, the four of us or three of us, or even just me and Blaire. And I'm just like,
Even just you.
Oh, this is... Oh,
Or maybe even just me and Blaire.
yeah. Yeah, no, this is...
We're going to go back to what Tim has now said, and I am saying too, for the third time.
Strike 3.
You have been with this individual for 24 months as a teammate, at practice, at lunch, on the buses, on the airplanes. It's like sleeping in the same apartment and, of course, snuggling, watching Netflix, whatever the fuck you guys are doing. And you're trying to tell me at no point nothing was off-putting?
So here's the... Come
on, man.
I agree. So I asked this question pre-show. If he had been fully transitioned.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if the twig and berries were gone.
Right.
Because he got started at what was it, 8th grade?
Yeah, so according to what we have found out, we did our digging where, so we found out where that basically Blaire Fleming first learned about transgender identity in 8th grade, which it was said that they said that it was a light bulb moment. At 14, or with the support of their mother and their grandfather, mother and their stepfather, Fleming worked with a therapist and a doctor and began to socially and medically transition. Now, here's where it gets interesting as well. And this is where I go back to San Jose State and also the school we're about to talk about as well. So now, of course, Blaire Fleming was a standout athlete out there in the state of Virginia. And in 2019, so they had a great season, But San Jose State was not the first college that they went to. So it actually was Coastal Carolina University in 2020.
Yep.
But the reason why Blaire did not stay there is because it turned out that South Carolina, where Coastal Carolina University is located, had passed a bill prohibiting transgender students from participating in school sports, which would have banned Fleming from playing. Now,
it makes no mention in there that Coastal Carolina knew that she was transgender, nor Virginia,
nor whichever the Virginia high school athletic, whatever they call it out there.
They had no. It's because I would think if they would have known, it would have been in the story.
Right. So my question is, I'm thinking like if you're a recruiter of this kid who's in the transfer portal, whatever the case may be, especially back then in 2020, who's making a transfers like that, wouldn't you as a coach kind of want to know, not only is the person talented as, we're not taking anything away from this as that can play.
Right.
But you would think that you would want to ask the question, Blaire, why are you transferring? Because we can be able to research and report on this information of what was going on politically.
Right.
At that point, you trying to tell me in all places and all being Tim's favorite state, the state of California,
the left coast.
Yeah, that no point you would have sat there and brought that up to the athletic director, your college head coach, or anything like that.
Well, but
that's what makes me question. Like, did they already know, and then they knew how dominant the athlete was? And as you had said, where so San Jose State being in such obscurity as a program, like you said, they hadn't made the tournament since 1985,
right?
That they were just kind of like, let's just do anything and everything in a left coast, state. I mean,
yeah, you can.
The possibility, or
I go back to something we have said on multiple other shows. You always see men transition.
Right.
You never see a woman wanting to be a dude.
I have yet to see a press conference of a woman stating that I would like to fight in the men's lightweight division of mixed martial arts. I have yet to see it.
My name is Rhonda. My new name is Ron.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to play male sports. No, it just
doesn't happen.
It just doesn't happen. Does it make sense for her to transfer to California and potentially fly under the radar?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Couldn't really think of a better place in that particular case.
But this hit piece that keeps playing in, we'll have the video for you guys to go and check it out and listen to the rest, is, again, it's just nothing but a woe is me. I wasn't the star. I'm interpreting this as she was not the star. She was not the center of attention, right? Everything she has done in this interview so far screams of attention.
Mm.
Now, her beliefs may be that transgender people or transgender men don't belong in women's sports.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But she never says that. The entirety of that video is, I'm finally getting attention. I need the attention.
Mm-hmm.
I want the attention. Right? That's what that is all about. We at the UnWoke Show, we again, and I'll go back to something I have said when we have covered these transgender topics. When you have Caitlyn Jenner,
mm-hmm.
who is the poster child
mm-hmm.
for transgender men, to come out and say transgender men should not be playing women's sport just on physiology alone.
Right.
That's, I don't know how that's not the end all be all at that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if Bruce, if he were Blaire's age at this point, I mean, Bruce was what, a triathlete or?
Yeah, triathlete, right.
And
yeah, I mean, at that time when he was, people were triathletes were considered like decathlete, whatever it is, like they were considered the best athletes in the world and all because they were doing multiple.
He was on Wheaties
events.
and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that right there should tell you everything. And yet she never says her stance on it.
Mm-hmm.
She just talks about how she was personally hurt or traumatized or whatever.
Right. So as we're moving forward with this, and also here relies into where the Department of Education comes in.
Yep.
So the U.S. Department of Education investigation claimed that San Jose State actively recruited and allowed a male to compete in women's indoor and beach volleyball teams, and reportedly instructed members of the coaching not to tell female players that the athlete was a male. So assistant coach Bate Moose said she wasn't made aware that Fleming was male until after she accepted the job at San Jose State in February 23. And she claims that head coach Todd Kress, which was mentioned by Slusser, finally told her weeks into her tenure, and then told her she couldn't tell other players or parents, threatening she would be fired if she did. So we'll also find out where the base move was later suspended and ultimately not re-signed after filing a Title IX complaint against the school. The Office of Civil Rights has also found that the cover-up forced female athletes to share locker rooms and hotel rooms with Fleming. This is very similar to the situation with the University of Pennsylvania swim team, and also where many girls came forward and said the same thing, that they ended up having to share the locker room, stuff like that, with the male that was on that team. And also
Aaliyah Thompson.
Yeah, Aaliyah Thompson also, which according to a former teammate says that was going on while he was still dating women.
Right.
So I can't imagine the awkwardness of being around someone, that that's going on.
Are you saying team showers there was nothing? You tell me she just, I just won't shower. I'll wait till I get home.
Exactly. Nothing like that. You didn't notice where that was up. So anyway, what's going on right now is that it sounds like the Department of Education is now at the point where they're basically saying that they are willing to pull their basically public funding, because at San Jose State, San Jose is a state school,
right? And
so therefore, Department of Education can pull any type of federal funding, and also that is the process that's going on as of right now. I think San Jose State sounds like they are not complying to any of the demands that the Department of Education has put forward. Thinks that they have not done anything wrong, and also, but this is where we are as of right now.
Okay.
So, but this story is far from over. San Jose State is now suing the federal government. That's the other thing. And particularly the Trump administration for threatening to cut off millions of dollars of funding. And female athletes who spoke out say they face retaliation for telling the truth. So it's showing based on from the head coach like that, obviously San Jose State did know something about this, because why would you sit there and clearly demand that your coach not say anything,
right?
So what we know is this: coaches were silenced, players were allegedly put in danger, and the university may have actively hidden the truth from its own team. The courts will decide the legal questions, but are they moral questions? Those belong to all of us. That's something that we all really want to know. And those who are belonging to these types of programs, they deserve to have the truth. That they just deserve to have the truth.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I say that also because, when we're looking at the future of female sports, when situations happen like this,
Right.
there are little girls who are dreaming about being able to play college sports that will not be able to get a scholarship because of situations like this, or you could say hiding truths when universities and colleges do this.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, that's not Title IX, and that's not defending women's sports.
I agree. UnWoke Nation, we're going to leave it right there for you. We'd love to get your feedback on the story, guys. You can reach us at feedback@unwoketheshow.com. Again, that is feedback@unwoketheshow.com. Rich, a pleasure as always. And remember, guys, stay unwoke.
See you next time.